New data by the Mail shows that over a period of a year, 1/3 of those arrested in London were foreign nationals. I've been saying on this show for quite a while that there's a serious cultural problem in the UK. I think there's a culturist issue to talk about here when it comes to crime. And obviously everybody can commit a crime, obviously British people commit crimes, but it always seems to be that the most diverse areas of the country tend to see higher rates of crime, especially violent crime, and I think there's an issue to talk about there. And new data proves this to be the case even, because the Mail on Sunday has obtained internal police data which showed that in London 1/3 of all arrests were foreign nationals. And that's just London, by the way. Here's what the rest of the data showed. Almost a fifth of crime suspects arrested by the police are foreigners, 172,732 out of 931,155 arrested between 2016 and 2017. That's 19%. And then this was an increase, by the way, of 16% over the year previously, so it's getting worse. It also found that in London, 1/3 of suspects are from overseas, as I mentioned, but it also found that 11% of the prison population in England and Wales are foreign nationals. Now, the Mail has previously reported also on criminals who've come to Britain after serving time in prison in their own country, only to come to the UK thanks to our open borders and free movement in the European Union, to come over to the UK, commit more crime and spend more time in prisons. How does this make any sense? Because this begs the question, doesn't it? Why exactly is free movement such a good idea? And will Theresa May's new free movement plan, because that's what it is, it's a new plan for free movement, it's free movement under a new name, under the Chequers deal. Will this deal change any of this? Will this new free movement system change it? I don't suspect it will. Now, the Mail discussed the issue with free movement as well, and they explain, the risks of free movement for convicted criminals were starkly illustrated in the case of Lithuanian builder Arnis Zelkans. He had been jailed for murdering his wife in his homeland, but was still able to move to London without anyone knowing his background. In 2014, he killed schoolgirl Alice Gross, whose body was found in a canal in West London before hanging himself. In response, police are developing the first national strategy for dealing with the growing threat of FNOs, foreign national offenders. Every force has undergone a health check to assess how well they are dealing with problems such as establishing a suspect's identity or criminal record. They also say that from now on they're going to be recording the nationalities of the offenders, which is interesting because for a long time when I've tried to obtain data on the nationality of offenders in particular crimes, it's not recorded. The only thing they've been recording is the nationality of the victims, and that's going to change. Data obtained by the Mail shows that 1/3 of people arrested in London are foreign nationals, and 1/5 of those arrested across the whole country are also foreign nationals. Now, here's why that matters. So, technically, around 1/3 of London's population is foreign-born, which is crazy, the foreign nationals. Meaning 1/3 of those arrested being foreign-born is kind of expected, but now that the nationality of offenders will be recorded universally, which wasn't the case previously, we'll get to see whether this is distributed evenly across people from different foreign nationalities. So once we have this new data, when the nationality of offenders is universally recorded, the offenders who are being arrested in London, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that those being arrested will be evenly distributed across the many different countries represented in London, or do you think some common themes might start appearing? Now, striking data that we can see now shows that, well, it's the comparison between foreign-born offenders arrested in the UK compared to the number and the proportion of people living in the UK who are foreign nationals. This is way more striking. The last census showed that 12.7% of the UK population was foreign-born, but the latest stats show us that 1/5 of offenders are coming from abroad. 12.7% compared to 1/5, around 19% to be specific. So That's quite significant. And again, if we were given data on specific nationalities, the data wouldn't be skewed and we would be able to analyze it properly. Because rather than saying that this is people from abroad, we could be saying these are predominantly people from certain parts of the world. So there's a sign here. This is a sign that there are cultural problems in the UK, and they do relate to crime. And once new data is revealed with the nationalities of offenders, I think we'll see a pattern and a theme from the country of origin. Catch up with all the Rebel stories on our brand new app, which you can download now from the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store.